Have you ever experienced turbulence during a flight? Trembling lights and uncontrollably swinging objects are certainly not pleasant. Now imagine that after such turbulence, the plane lands normally, but upon disembarking, the passengers are informed they've traveled forward 37 years. Sounds like a movie script, doesn't it? Today, I'll tell you an incredible story about a flight that went through just that. It all started on a sunny summer day, July 2nd, 1955. Pan Am Flight 914, carrying 57 passengers and 4 crew members, took off from New York headed for Miami, Florida. Many of the passengers were probably looking forward to their vacation on the sunny beaches of Miami. However, they were about to encounter a delay that would last for decades. Initially, the flight proceeded without any issues, but while everything seemed normal to the passengers, the situation on the ground was quite different. About 3 hours after takeoff, the airplane simply vanished from the radars. Attempts by flight controllers in New York and Miami to contact the pilot were in vain, as if the airplane had never existed. When a plane disappears, authorities mobilize every possible effort to solve the mystery or locate the wreckage. It was assumed that the plane had suffered a catastrophic failure and crashed into the sea, since part of its route crossed the Atlantic. Intensive searches were conducted, but nothing was found. No debris, no bodies, no black box. The most plausible explanation seemed to be that the plane had crashed into the sea, as there were no reports of a crash on land. Pan Am issued a statement confirming this hypothesis, although details of the incident remained uncertain. Although nothing could compensate for the loss of 61 lives, the airline provided compensation to the passengers' families. Over time, and after exhaustive searches with no results, the case was officially closed by the Coast Guard. Fast forward 37 years to May 21st, 1992, a routine day for the air traffic controllers at the airport in Caracas, Venezuela. That day, Juan de la Corte was in charge of the control tower when, unexpectedly, a strange aircraft entered the airspace. It was Flight 914, a Douglas DC-4 manufactured in the 1940s, but Juan and his team couldn't immediately identify it as such. There are divergent versions of the event. Some sources say the plane simply appeared in the sky, while others report it emerged out of nowhere on the radars. Regardless of the details, the control team was astonished to see such an airplane approaching. The confusion increased when the pilot of Flight 914 made radio contact, visibly distressed. "Where are we? What the hell is going on?" Juan promptly responded, informing them they were near Caracas Airport, and asked what their intended destination was. The answer was even more astonishing. "We are Pan American World Airways Flight 914, from New York to Miami, with a crew of 4 and 57 passengers." Shocked, Juan realized the plane was far from Miami. He remained calm and asked the pilot if they needed assistance. The response, however, was slow to come, and when it did, it was almost unbelievable. The pilot informed him that they should have landed at Miami International Airport at 9:55 in the morning on July 2nd, 1955. Imagining the best way to communicate the truth without causing panic, Juan took a deep breath and said, "Captain, this is Caracas Airport. Today is May 21st, 1992. After a brief silence, the pilot began preparing the plane for landing. On board, the passengers screamed, and in the control tower, the team organized to receive and safely guide them, with security already positioned on the runway for disembarkation. As the officials approached the aircraft, still moving slowly on the ground, chaos erupted anew. This time, it was the captain's screams over the radio, desperate, "No, no, do not approach, we are leaving now." Without hesitation, the pilot reactivated the engines, aligned the aircraft on the runway, and took off abruptly without authorization, leaving everyone stunned by his precipitous action. The Venezuelan Air Force jets, promptly activated, followed Flight 914 trying to track it, but curiously, the aircraft disappeared again, evading any tracking despite the military's efforts. The story does not end there. Shortly thereafter, the plane was spotted landing at Miami International Airport, finally reaching its original destination, albeit with a delay of 37 years. The surprise was general among the staff and security at Miami Airport. Questions abounded about how the plane, missing for decades, appeared there, and especially how it was intact with no temporal changes in passengers or crew. Everyone on board was intensely interrogated to clarify the inexplicable. The story bears similarities to the series Manifest, where passengers of a flight also reappear after years without aging. Theories about what really happened to Flight 914 range from time travel to wormholes. However, upon further investigation, it is discovered that the origin of this narrative is in a tabloid known for its satirical and fictitious publications, Weekly World News. This newspaper published the story of Flight 914 in 3 different issues, all filled with inconsistencies and chronological errors. The first report emerged in 1985, suggesting that the plane had disappeared only 30 years earlier, and the descriptions of the controller Juan de la Corte varied in each article. Interestingly, it is said that a 1955 calendar was dropped on the runway in Caracas, adding more mystery to the legend. Despite all signs pointing to a fictional creation of the tabloid, the story has evolved into an urban legend, fueled by conspiracy theories and heated debates. So what do you think about it? Is it just the ingenious creation of a creative mind, or is there something more we are missing? Leave your comment below and don't forget to subscribe for more mysteries and intriguing stories. Until next time, and a strong hug.